It's Saturday. Welcome to our corner class. Thank you guys for all coming out today. For you guys who wonder who I am, my name is Isaac Grace. I'm Jay Morrison's protege. Who's heard of me before? Raise your hand. By a round of applause, who's heard of me? Let me hear something. Perfect. Let me take my jacket off. I know it's going to get hot. We're going to have some fun today. Let me throw this back here. All right, so we're going to be focusing on today's corner class. We got live stream here. We got YouTube, we got Instagram, we got Facebook, and we have you beautiful kings and queens here in person. Before I get started, I want to engage with you all a little bit, just to figure out who's in the room, why are you guys here, and what are you looking to get out of today. So I'm going to walk around and pass this mic to some people, if anyone cares. Can I get some, King, please? Yeah. Come on, man. Get up. What brought you out today? What you want to learn?
I'm Braylon. I came from McDonald. I really don't know why I came. My mom.
Your mom brought you out? How old are you?
12.
12. Tell us a little why you brought your son out today.
Hello, my name is Kim, and I brought the boys out. I actually came to the first corner class.
Okay.
Back in 2017.
Okay.
They were much younger, and so we were here with the mentorship, and so I thought it was a great opportunity for them to,
grasp the information, learn.
yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Appreciate it. All right, give it up. Thank you for bringing the boys out. Somebody else right here?
What's up, everybody? Roger Williams. Me and my wife are here. We're from Marietta, by the way, of Indianapolis, Indiana. We here, man, to get the game. You know, I follow you and I follow Jay. You know what I mean? And the first time I'm here in the Black House, so we're just trying to get the game, man. Trying to build a legacy for our family.
Love it. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay.
We get one more. Right here, Queen.
Hi, my name is Nikki Wharton. I do follow you as well as Jay Morrison. I live in South Carolina and I was in the area, so I decided to come and I'm glad to get all the information that I can so I can apply.
Nice. Thank you. What does legacy mean to you? If anyone just want to name some things off, when you hear legacy, what do you think about?
It's pretty much like memories and something that's residual, that's like generational, that you can leave behind for your family.
Leaving a generational wealth, memories, things of that nature. You think about legacy. Anybody else?
I would say a continuation of something that you started building.
Yep, gotcha. So you say continuation of?
Something that you started building.
Okay, gotcha. I like that there. Right here, King?
Something that will live longer than you.
Yep, something that will live longer than you. I like that. That's a real good one. Legacy is something that will live long after you. What are the things that you're going to do, you're going to apply while you're here on earth so that your last name, your legacy can live long on after you, right? That's the goal. So what I'm going to do before I really get going today, I got a great lesson for you guys. We're going to talk about 3 ways how we can get in real estate going into 2021. It's going to be super informative. I'm going to break it down, show you guys how simple it is. And you guys will get an amazing opportunity to join a community of like-minded legacy builders, which will be really exciting for you all. What I want to do real quick is I want to bring up a good brother of mine who has some very powerful, encouraging words. So real quick, I want to bring up Brother Zoo for 5 minutes just to give us a good word for today, speaking on legacy, generational wealth, the culture, all that good stuff. So clap it up for Zoo.
Thank you. All right, real quick, 2 questions. All right, I want you to put in your subconscious on purpose. Who do you want to be, and where do you want to go? All right. So out loud, I want everybody to say, "Who do I want to be?" Okay, we're gonna say that again because clearly you may not know who you want to be. All right. So let's try this again. Who do I want to be? And where do I want to go? Now, these are two loaded questions I want you to think about. Who do you want to be and where do you want to go? So what does that mean? That means that you could be anybody you want to be on purpose. That means, Queen, you can live anywhere you want to live on purpose. So that also let us understand that there is no limitation but ourselves, right? So I want you guys to think about that today as you get this information. Who do you want to be? Because you're getting ready to get information that's going to shift your paradigm to take you to where you want to go, right? Every last one of you know where you want to go. So let this information, you know where you want to live. You know what kind of house you want to live. You know what kind of car you want to drive. This information you're going to get today is going to put you on that path on purpose. So today, 2 questions. Who do you want to be? Where do you want to go? And I want you to allow that to just permeate through your mind all week. Because you're getting ready to get information on purpose that's getting ready to shape you. Do you believe that? Yes. How many believe that right now? By show of hands. So what am I speaking? I'm speaking into the universe about what I want to happen for my life, right? We all have that ability from a thought. My name is Zuma Finicchio. I am a consultant here at the Legacy. We teach on personal development and also business development. The first thought, what is your desire? Okay? Think about that. Today, information that you're going to get is going to shape that. Because this is a tool to be able to create what? Generational wealth. To create what? Asset. To create what? More assets. On purpose. All right? So I want you to think about those 2 questions. Also, just real quick, I just want to let you guys know that if you guys need my service, you guys have my car, Shift 13, go online, check us out. Also, too, next week, we got a book that's going to be releasing, The 7 Days to Success, the ultimate self-improvement plan. Because we all need self-development, right? This book is going to help you. So I want you guys to absorb the information.
On purpose, right? On purpose. So by a show of hands, how many of us has somebody in our family that is an entrepreneur, invest in real estate? By a show of hands, does anybody in their family have that? So we have some people in here that has some history of entrepreneurship and legacy building, which is good, right? So we gotta understand as a whole, as a culture, entrepreneurship, real estate, assets, generational wealth, that legacy that we talk about, it's not often taught in our schools. It's not taught at all in our schools, in our colleges, in our elementary schools, in our middle schools, high schools. It's not taught to us. It's also not taught in our households. When's the last time, by show of hands, that you sat down with your family and talked about a legacy building plan for 2020, 2019, by show of hands? Okay, we got a couple, but a lot less than how many is in the room and on live stream, right? So we understand that there's a clear gap that needs to be bridged in financial literacy, financial education, self-development, like King Zoo talked about. These are the things that are strategically not taught in our households, in our schools. It's not big on for us to be educated, to understand the game of life, the game of wealth. But that's what the Jay Morrison Academy, Jay Morrison Brands is here to continue over these last 6 years and over his 20 years of teaching, to bridge this gap. Because this gap has been bridged for me, and it has truly, truly changed my life. And I've become super passionate about watching other people go on their journey. From starting from the bottom, figuring it out, taking the risk, getting out their comfort zones, and being able to start to become successful and get on this journey. Because this truly is a journey. This isn't a get rich quick. Understand what you're trying to do. We're trying to leave a legacy, right? Everybody say legacy. 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 Right? We hear that word a lot. People throw it out. You hear it all the time on the internet. But who's really chasing a legacy? Who's really about that action every single day? Who is always asking themselves, does this decision right here benefit my lifestyle or my legacy? Does this actually push my last name forward, making this move, whatever it is? So the gap has been bridged for myself. You know, I was a high school dropout. So I dropped out of high school. Not only was I not educated on this stuff, but I also dropped out of high school. So understand, no matter what your education level is, from a high school dropout to a college graduate, you still must know this information and apply it. You could be passionate to be a doctor, a lawyer, that could be your career. But you have to understand these financial principles to take your career to the next level. You could be a doctor making 100, 150, 200,000 a year and just live a life. Or you can leverage that talent, that skill, that gift to build wealth, to own assets, to create businesses that will put you on a path to building generational wealth. And that's our goal here. That's what we want to teach you guys. We want to preach to you guys. And we even want to go on this journey with you all. That's the fun part about this. Cash Buyers Academy, what we'll be talking about today, is a mentorship that we recently started. And it's like a family. And it's nothing better than being with a group of like-minded individuals. How many of us in this room right now want to get entrepreneurship, but your excuse is, yo, nobody around me believes in me. Nobody around me does it, so it's hard for me to. By show of hands, how many of us are dealing with that problem? No one else around you is doing it, so you're scared to jump out there, right? Well, guess what? I've been there. I've been through that. I come from the same things all of you guys come from, literally. We have similarities. So I'm up here to show you guys that it is possible. It's not going to be easy, but it's worth the fight. It's worth the journey. Because like my king said, one of them right here, when you're gone, it keeps on going. I want 100, 200, 300 years from now, my name, my last name to still be talked about. If you go in the Black House, y'all see all them photos up there. Majority of them people are no longer here on this earth. They're flesh anyway, but their presence is still felt for years and years to come. And that is the goal right here for all of us. So who is ready to be the CEO of their last name? Who's ready to step up and be the CEO of their last name? By a round of applause. We got Thanksgiving coming up. It's a perfect time to sit down with your family. The year is over. Y'all all made it. We all made it through 2020. We didn't know if we was going to make it, but y'all are here. We're in the fourth quarter. We're losing people every single week. And it's a blessing that you all are here. And don't take that lightly. On purpose, you're here. So what you going to do when you're here on this earth? So my story real quick. I got into real estate entrepreneurship 6 years ago. I met Jay Morrison virtually. Probably how a lot of you guys met him. On YouTube, I seen his wake-up video. At this time, again, I was a high school dropout. I had my first child. I was 20 years old when I seen this video. My daughter was 1. I was hustling in the streets. I didn't know nothing about legacy, nothing about generational wealth. I was the lifestyle guy. I was in the culture trap, right? Everybody, does anyone want me to explain what the culture trap is? Okay. The culture trap is when we are tricked to believe that the things we wear, the cars we drive, the things we spend our money on is going to benefit our legacy, our lifestyle, our last name, right? So in our culture, hip-hop, entertainment culture fools us to believe that we can go out there and buy a foreign car when we don't own our house, our credit ain't that good, right? Or we go out and we buy designer clothes, right? Before we buy a pair of shoes that cost more than our rent for the month, right? We do activities that do not benefit our legacy. Now, I'm all for lifestyle. I love to get dressed nice. I love to do nice things, but there's a time and a place. A lot of us want to go and live the life first, but you ain't hustled. You ain't put no work in. You ain't sacrificed nothing yet. And that was something that on my journey, I had to grow and learn. So I met Jay, watched his wake up video, and that's what he said in this video. He said, yo, we gotta wake up. He screamed it real loud, wake up. We out here, we hustling backwards, and we don't realize it. We got these talented athletes, these talented entertainers out here making all this money and blowing it, when it can be all being built to raise their communities, at least build their last names, right? So after I watched this video, I was inspired. I was truly inspired because the only dream that I had prior to watching this video had ended, and that was to be a professional football player. Remember, guys, I dropped out of high school. So I was looking for something, but I didn't know what I was looking for. I didn't know how I was going to continue to keep this vision that I had for myself. I always felt as a kid that I would be special. I don't know what special meant at the time, but I knew that I would live a meaningful, grateful life. And when I ran across real estate and I ran across Jay, it wasn't the real estate that impressed me. It wasn't about the real estate, because most of us are here today because we want to learn real estate to make what? Money, right? For me, at the time, money wasn't really a problem for me. I had no purpose. I had no reason to get up every day. There was nothing challenging or fun about my life other than let me make as much money as I could, let me try not to go to jail, and let me try not to let none of my friends rob me, right? That was literally the life that I lived. Let me go to the mall this weekend. I hustled all week. I'm about to spend $2,000, $3,000. I made about 10, so I'm gonna spend 30% of it on a bunch of liabilities. And I did that from 18 years old up until 22, 23 years old. Even when I was in real estate, I was still hustling, still trying to find myself. So it wasn't the money, it was the thought of, holy crap, I could be a boss. That makes sense. I wanna be a boss. I can be a business owner. I can be an entrepreneur. I didn't even know what entrepreneur meant or how to spell it. But it just sounded right. And I instantly took actions. Took actions instantly. I signed up. Jay Morrison Academy, $97 a month, taught me about real estate investing, branding myself, started my company, buying and holding, buying and flipping, wholesaling real estate, which we're going to talk about some of them things later on in today's class. And I was so excited early on because it was something new for me. 6 months into this program, I did my first wholesale deal, which we're going to talk about what wholesaling is. I made $12,500 on my first deal. Again, it wasn't about the money for me. It was about, this shit really works. It actually works. I had a check paid to the order of Isaac Grace Investments. And I was sitting in my car, I was looking at this check, and my life literally did a 360. I began to have a vision. I began to see. My mind began to open up to the possibilities of what this can do for me. But on my journey, again, because this hasn't been taught in our households, entrepreneurship is not taught in our cultures, the sales skills, the strategies, the business mindset was not taught in our upbringings, I had to go on my journey. I had to develop myself. I had to take actions. I quit so many times in my 6 years. So many times early on. Because I was 1 foot in, 1 foot out. I still wanted to be a street guy. I still wanted to live the lifestyle. So I would try to cheat it, get the best of both worlds. But for the first year and a half, 2 years, I was just somebody who was doing real estate. I was just somebody that was doing real estate. But I couldn't look myself in the mirror, right? And ask myself, am I giving 100%? Every time I would look in the mirror, I couldn't even look myself in the eyes and be serious. I knew I was not giving 100%. So like I said, on my journey, I had to develop myself. I began investing more into myself. I had all this money. I said, you know what? I'm watching my friends go to jail. I'm losing friends. Let me take my shot, which I've been talking about all week, while the chance is here for me. Because most people want to take that shot when you're down and out. A bug, oh my God, a bug. So most people want a change. They want to chase something when they're in the toughest time in their life, right? You're tied to a 9 to 5, you don't have extra income to invest, and you really don't have time to put into it. Those are the struggles that a lot of us are going to have to face early on. Certainly being the first one in your family to take this leap. So I developed myself, I invested, I started educating myself on my vocabulary. I started going out to masterminds, I started paying mentors. I was coming out to any event that Jay had. I was learning, I was absorbing the information. And I was starting to see myself in this process of running this business full time, being successful. And there's a story that really turned my life around in 2016. I was 2 years in the business, I was half-assing, and I was sick and tired of just playing around with it. I wasn't really making enough money to pay myself and really live a lifestyle of entrepreneurship. I had just did a couple deals. I had just middleman a couple deals, and I knew what it took. I went out to this event in 2016, and it was in San Diego. I bought a software from this company, and they said, you know what, you can come out to this 3-day conference for free. You just gotta fly yourself out here. So I was like, you know what, this is the opportunity here to recreate myself. So today I want you guys to start thinking about how are you going to recreate yourself? Because the person you are right now is not going to be the person that's going to get us to the next level and get us through this journey. So you have to accept that I'm going to have to reinvent myself, redevelop myself into this person that I want to become. So I went out here in 2016. I traveled from New Jersey to San Diego, California. Beautiful city, beautiful city. First time on the West Coast, 1,000+ miles away from home, high school dropout, got a daughter, my father's incarcerated, my mother lives down here in Georgia. I moved away from my mother since 13, so I didn't even have any connection between my mother and my father. How many of us grew up in their teenage years without their mother or their father? Very few people. That's tough. As a young man, no father, no principles as a man. A mother trying to raise 5 kids, where she wasn't raised the right way, right? But she did what she had to do. So I was out here, and I kept telling myself that I am going to create the new me. So I went out here to this event with a cell phone and a selfie stick, sort of like what King Zoo got right there. And when I first got to this event, there was 400 or 500 people. This whole room would have been filled up with people. Literally. Very few blacks in the room. It was middle class, Caucasian Americans, successful people, corporate American individuals who was there because they wanted their time back. They had money. They had good careers. At least 80% of them, but they did not have control of their time. There's no point of becoming rich and successful if you can't control your day or live your perfect day. That's the whole point of building this legacy. So I went to this event, very few young people, and I played full out, literally. I engaged, I networked, I spoke to as many people as I could. I did videos. All the big speakers, millionaires was in this room telling us how they was at the top, they lost it all, lost their families, had to really, really redevelop themselves to bring it all the way back. So I was so inspired hearing so many successful people that struggled. You'd think that people don't struggle, right? So I was able to relate in their stories to say, okay, you know what? They did lose it at one point. But they had to find that why and find that love. That why is so important. We're going to talk about that today. Because without a why, we have nothing. The easy thing to do is quit. The easy thing to do is go do something easy. Go back to work. That's the easy thing to do. This year, they laid off so many people during this year. I watched people go try entrepreneurship. It got tough. They job called them back. They went right back to work. So the same job that let you go and said, hey, you got to figure it out. It's real for me right now. I can't help you. Call. And now they're going back. So now they're giving up on their legacy, their life, their perfect day. When all easy. Anything worth having is going to take some type of stress, some type of discomfort, being uncomfortable. It's going to take that. That's just the law of the game. So at this event, on the third day of me playing full out, learning, taking the information I was learning how to automate my business, set it up, mastering. I was mastering marketing, sales, follow-ups, CRMs, the different systems you need to truly run a real estate investing business. And I played full out. The third day, the last day of the event, there was probably about 80 to 120 people in the room. There was 500 the first day, third day, 80 to 120. So more than 60 to 70% of the people already gave up after 48 hours. And on this last day, long story short, they chose me. They had a contest going on. Who was the rock star participant of the entire event? And they talked about the first day, so everybody knew. Hustle, hustle, grind, do something major. Make everybody in this room, that was the key he said, make everybody in this room know who you are. And literally, they chose me. They called me up to the front, and I didn't even know. They said, Isaac Grace, wherever you're at. I'm like, oh, that's me. Wow. So I go up to the front of the room, and this millionaire, this successful millionaire says to me, he said, I've been watching you this entire event. My team has been watching you this entire event. And you've been playing full out. And that reassured me and reminded me of the gifts that I had, that I told myself as a kid, that I would be great, that I would be special, that I had a calling on my life, that I had to walk into. So allowing these strangers to point me out in the entire room. So I came home and I literally took the energy I had from that event. Most people, they lose motivation and they just give up. I took that energy and I ran with it. 4 years later, I got my own office. Well, over that 4 years, I got my own office. I put a team together. I systemized my business. Everything that I learned, I applied it. I invested into myself. And over my journey, I've done over 100 wholesaling deals. I've grossed over $1 million in revenue. I own real estate assets. I coach, mentor, and teach thousands of entrepreneurs all around the United States. That same high school dropout, that same young guy who didn't have no hope, no purpose, no meaning. My last name is a very small family. My grandfather was the originator, not the originator, but that's where the last name came from through my mother, but he passed away when she was a kid. So not only did I didn't have my grandfather with my last name, the Grace last name, but also my father. So the two important men, I have my other grandfather, he's still here, but the two important men that was supposed to be in my life early on was not. Which seems like a bad thing, but I think I'm thankful for it. I think I'm thankful for it because it was what was needed for my last name to really spark it and get it going and push it. So just like all you guys just raise your hand and say, you're going to be the CEO of your last name, I took it on that journey as well, of being the CEO of my last name. So I tell y'all that story just to hope, just to give you guys hope that this is worth it. It's going to be tough. But once you get rocking and rolling, I'm an entrepreneur now. Every day I wake up, it's about my legacy, my business. My life is around my legacy now. Everything that I do, coming here, this is business. Everything, my life is now, I'm a full-blown entrepreneur. I have little friends, very few friends. I'm around the same people every single day, focused on the same things every single day. How can I create more money? How can I make smart investments? How can I grow my brand? How can I be a better father? How can I be a better son? Right? Those are the things that I'm focused on every day. Not how I can get the new PS5. Not how I can get the new Jordans that's about to come out. How to get that new foreign car. Now again, we like them things. But we must work. We must lay the foundation down so that we can enjoy them things. How many of us go on vacation, come home from vacation like, damn, I spent too much money there. Gotta work some extra hours now, right? That is not, no, life shouldn't be like that. I truly feel like everybody in this room and everybody on live stream watching this shit should be able to live the life they want on their terms. And it'll be so much more fulfilling if you actually got it out the mud, right? That's what we say in our culture. You grind it from the bottom, you beat the odds. The systematic systems in America, you was able to get around and still beat it. You didn't get trapped in a 9 to 5. You didn't let your criminal record hold you back. Your lack of the information they don't teach you. You still went out there and got it. From the same people that's trying to hide it, right? So that is the goal for today. My goal for you guys today is to really understand the power of the information that you are about to receive. I want you guys to remember the 2 questions that Zoo asked you. And I want you guys to really start thinking about that why, right? So we're going to do a quick why exercise, and then we're going to go into some teaching. Does anybody have any questions? All right, good. So I want to start off in the beginning. I love to work the mindset, right? Because I want you guys to write this on your paper real quick. 80% of this entire journey is going to be based on your mindset. What do you tell yourself when no one's around to keep on pushing? Why are you going? We have to define the why. I can teach you this stuff, but it doesn't mean nothing if we don't have a purpose and a why. Because we need to do this, like Zeus said, on purpose, right? Everything has to be on purpose. From this, it's working. Can't be emotional, so mindset, right? So I want you guys to write this down on your paper. 80% of this is mindset. 20% is skill, strategy, mentorship. So you guys probably think it's the other way around. Listen to it. It's going to be the mindset that's going to get us through this. So there's an exercise called the perfect day. A lot of people may call it the January letter, right? So you know every year, 2 weeks, some people might make it to 90 days, you fall off, right? How many of us actually completed and stayed full aligned with the goals that we had set for a year by show of hands? We got a couple. We got a couple in the room, right? So this January letter, when my mentors taught me this, they said that I want you to write out as detailed as possible what does your perfect day look like, right? Write it out. So I wrote out this letter, and when I first did the exercise, I pretty much just wrote this letter of me waking up and living this lavish life, having this big mansion, having maids all around my house, a bunch of bull crap, right? And every time I would go back into my trainings, my mentor, we would read it, we would go through it, he would say, no, that's not it, that's not right. Go back, do it over. Go back, do it over. And I couldn't understand. I'm like, what does he mean? You said you want me to write my perfect day. This is my perfect day, right? So he wouldn't tell me why, though. What he was doing was forcing me to use my mind, right? Because you know that our brains, it operates subconsciously. All of you guys are blinking and breathing. That's your brain subconsciously doing that. When you end up quitting or second guessing yourself naturally, that's all your mindset. Subconsciously. Have you ever been super excited about something? Yo, I just got this new job promotion, I'm about to start this new business. And then now you start thinking about all the fear out of nowhere. Like when it's really about to happen, right? You're talking to all your friends, you pumped up, you go home, and you like, shoot, this gonna cost a lot of money. What if this don't work? That is the subconscious mind doing its job. Your mind is trained to keep you comfortable with what you're comfortable with. So anytime we do something different, you begin to change. You begin to get nervous, you begin to think about things, right? Because the mind is naturally doing what it has been doing all your life. As a kid, all of us will touch a hot stove as a kid if it was put right in front of you because you don't know that it's hot. But after you burn yourself, you will never just intentionally touch a stove again. Literally. Because your subconscious mind felt that burn from that heat. It's gonna naturally remember. We don't touch fire. Fire is hot. So, it's the same thing in entrepreneurship and on this legacy. So with this letter, I finally sat back. I said, all right, I'm not doing it right. What does he mean? So I asked myself one question. I said, in the next 6 months, can I accomplish this goal that I have? I said, no. So I said, okay, I know I'm not gonna have no mansion in 6 months. I know I'm not gonna have maids all through my house. I know I'm not gonna live this lifestyle because I ain't even hustled or grind yet. So I said, okay, I got it. What does 6 months from today look like for me in a perfect world? So I said, you know what? The first thing that I need to get an office. Because I work from home, I'm playing around, I'm not serious, I'm on my laptop, then I'm in my bed, like I gotta take this serious. So I talked about waking up, my business having an office. Prior to that, the first thing I actually talked about was, how did I feel when I first woke up in the morning? That was one of the biggest things that I caught on my journey. How do I feel when I first wake up? How many of us, when we wake up, that we instantly have a negative mindset? We think about work, we think about them bills we still ain't paid. We think about that fight we had with a family member, right? Every day we waking up on the same negative thoughts. When's the last time we just woke up and was thankful, showed gratitude, visualized your day? So I say, you know what? I want to wake up happy. So when I'm writing this letter, you're actually writing it in a sense in the present moment. So it wasn't I want to wake up happy. It was my alarm clock went off at 6 a.m. and I felt a rush of joy in my body. I began to talk to God and meditate. First, being thankful for being alive today because everyone's not fortunate to wake up. Then I talked to God about finding the message. What is the message today? What is my duty for today? And I would have that session, and I visualized this before I ever did it. At this time, I wasn't doing it when I wrote the letter. I was trying to create what I wanted so that I had something to follow. So I talked about that. I talked about getting up, going to my office, having a team around me, having these systems, this business, the automations in place so that sellers are calling my phone, buyers are calling my phone. We're doing deals. We're practicing group economics. So those were the things that I began to create in my letter. It was a 12-page paper that was broken down. I talked about moments. Motivated seller called me on the phone. She was motivated to sell her property. I was able to solve her problem. And we was able to make money. So I created this paper, and what I did was I voice recorded it. And the objective was to listen to it every single day. And even portions of it. So I would listen to it in my car. I would listen to it at the gym. I would just turn it on and listen to it. And what it was doing was, on purpose, tricking my subconscious mind to believe that this stuff was real. So as I was listening to it, the voice recording, it was me talking about the day that I wanted to live. Waking up with the energy, having a great business, being successful, things of that nature. And literally, probably 6 months to 8 months after I wrote this letter, everything in the letter was reality. Literally. Thank you. Everything in the letter was reality. I had an office. I found a business partner. We went to work. I would get dressed, put on a nice suit, get out the house. And I was really living the life that I planned. And when I look back at the end of that year, I said, wow, I didn't know you can create something before you ever get there and it can become reality. So that turned me to an addict. I was like, oh, I could just say what I want to do and it can become reality? That, like that? And I just got to work and I just got to stay aligned with it? Oh, I took that and ran with it. And that's why I am where I am today. Sometimes I feel like I'm like a psychic. Like I can see the future because I truly believe if I put it out there and I go and hustle and grind, and if it's meant for me, I'm going to get it by any means. That's the mentality I go into every single day. Entrepreneurship it's a rough scale business. You have to have a tough mindset. You can't be just humbled all day. You gotta talk and say bold things and big things and hold yourself accountable to some of the big goals that you have. We can't just walk through entrepreneurship every day and just hoping that every seller's gonna be nice to us, everybody's gonna want to do business with us, every day it's gonna work. No, it's not going to happen like that. So we need to build the why. So what I want you guys to do is focus on that, but try to jot down 2 to 3 things right now on why you want to be the legacy builder, the CEO of your last name. So for example, for myself, one of the first things that I started with was my family, my daughter, right? So that was the first easy thing for me. My daughter, financial freedom, and be an example for our culture. Those are the first 3 things that I wrote down for my why, right? Then I took it to the next level, right? Because a lot of times we do something, but we don't do it on purpose. I took it to the next level because it wasn't strong enough for me. Just my daughter, generational wealth, financial freedom, it wasn't enough for me to push harder. So I broke it down to another level. So I said, yes, my daughter is my why, but I started creating vivid images and vivid moments of how my daughter would be my why. So I began to envision her going off to college and me being able to pay for that college. I envisioned being able to see her smile graduating high school because I can give her an asset or a building. I can be there at her 8th grade dance. I began to start visualizing more to make her life easier than my life was. So when I seen them images, it goes back to what I just told you guys about the subconscious mind. When it gets tough on this journey, you might deal with a lawsuit, you might get sued, somebody might steal from you, you might have a bad business relationship that really just turns you off from entrepreneurship. But that why is what's going to make you say, you know what? Pick myself up, stop crying like a little girl or a little boy, and push through. Push through. Entrepreneurship is like boxing. Boxing is a tough sport. A lot of people are not going to get in that ring and box. It's such a grueling sport. Even through your training, even when you go in and you're sparring people, just everything, when you walk into a boxing gym, it's not high fives and handshakes, and everything is about business. Yo, you come to my gym, I don't got no personal problems with you, but I'm here to get better. So if you're not on your A game, you're gonna get touched up. Right? Everybody's gonna get touched up as an entrepreneur. No matter what. You're gonna take the punches. Your nose is gonna bleed. You're gonna have a fractured rib at times. Not literally, but you will go through them things. It's about how we bounce back, right? It's about how we bounce back. Look at King James, LeBron James. We've watched him for years, literally. We watch him for years. Win championships, lose them, grind, push, critics, people downplay him, and he still show up every single day. That's a warrior right there. That's what we all got to instill into us on this journey, because it will be all worth it when it's all said and done. So who's ready to learn some education now? Who's ready to learn some game? Perfect, perfect, perfect. So I hope that helps you guys. Again, that mindset is so important, and I really want to emphasize that to you all, because the information is great. I can give you it, I can mentor you, but I can't make you do it yourself, and I'm not going to try to make you do it yourself. I got my own last name, got my own legacy. I only got 24 hours in a day. Right? So I need you all to meet me halfway. You meet me halfway, I'm going to meet you halfway. We got some students in here that's a part of our Cash Buyers Academy I'm going to bring up later on, and they are going to tell you guys about their experience with Cash Buyers Academy. So we talked about this information not being taught in our households. Real estate, strategies, credit, home ownership, things of that nature. By a show of hands, how many of us live somewhere? Everybody, right? That's the first thing in this room that everybody agreed on. We all live somewhere, right? So with that being said, if we all live somewhere and we all are always going to need somewhere to live, real estate might be a good business to look into, right? It doesn't have to be your only business, but it's certainly a need-based business. Let me get my marker right real quick. Drop this mic. See if I can write and talk at the same time. So, need-based business, right? So, let's throw this up here. Right, so early on in your entrepreneurial journey, I truly feel that we should look for need-based businesses. What are some examples of need-based businesses? If anybody want to shoot them away? Grocery store? Yeah, mechanic, yup. Health insurance. Banks. Gas stations, taxes, plumbing, right? All of these things are need-based. So there's so many options, right, in real estate. I like real estate because it has so many layers of benefits. Not only that, is everyone just, y'all raise your hand and said y'all live somewhere. So if I brought 50 more people in here and asked that question, they all going to probably raise their hand. If I brought 500 people in here, they're all going to raise their hand, right? So that clearly tells us that everyone needs somewhere to live. So, in real estate, I'm going to be talking to you guys about 3 ways that you can get started in real estate in 2021. By a show of hands, who in here knows nothing about real estate? We got one in the back, right here, my 2 brothers right here. By a show of hands, who wants to get started in real estate? Who's ready to start investing in real estate and making money, owning assets, and being able to play the wealth game? Right. It would feel good to own an apartment building or some rentals that brought you in a nice amount of cash flow every single month, right? While you got your regular life going on. You on vacation. You celebrating, you hosting Thanksgivings at your house. You setting the tone of what Thanksgiving looks like now. What games we play, what rituals do we do. This is all legacy right here. This will be my first year where I'll be hosting Thanksgiving at my house. I'm excited for it. I'm pumped up. I have 2 daughters. I have my daughter coming down here, and it's everything that I wanted in my legacy. Working on fatherhood. becoming that true CEO of my last name, instilling visions into my children that come from my heart. So this will be my first year hosting Thanksgiving. And this is what real estate entrepreneurship is going to do for you. Put you in the driver's seat. Who wants to be in the driver's seat? We ready to get in that driver's seat. It's no more time to be playing. We see what's happening every day here on earth. We're watching people be gunned down. We're watching our people be targeted, hunted. Literally. That's what gave me that burning desire. When King Jay taught me about the history and taught me that black people was beautiful, that was the first time in 20 years of my life I ever heard anybody say black people was beautiful. Literally. Literally. I was so inspired because no one ever even talked. Almost forgot I was black. Because people just made it, my neighborhood, it was mixed, very mixed. Hispanics, whites were dominant, so school was different. History class was laughed at. The white kids laughed during history class. So I never got to really understand the history, the power of what our people did. When I started doing my research, the first thing I watched was The Ballad or the Bullet by Malcolm X. I want every, if you never watched that, check that out, The Ballad or the Bullet by Malcolm X. I heard him speak, and it opened my eyes. And it was my burning desire to not be an example, to show the oppressor that I can be great, that I will be great. I will learn your skills and beat you at the game. Let me say that again. I will learn your skills and beat you at the game. So now I'm negotiating, I'm in conferences, I'm business partnerships with the same people that I thought wouldn't take me serious. So learn about your history. That's a side note. Learn history. Learn the history of our people. Find some powerful queens that did great things in history. See yourself in them. I see myself in Malcolm X. I see myself in Marcus Garvey. The things that they did are the things that I want to do. So, need-based business. So we all just agreed that we all have somewhere we need to live, right? We all live somewhere. So we're going to talk about 3 strategies on how we can get started in real estate starting in 2021. So the first one we're going to talk about is my favorite, and it's great for newbie investors: wholesaling real estate. So wholesaling real estate, and I'm going to dive a little bit more into it, is being the middleman or woman in real estate transactions, right? The benefits of wholesaling real estate is because the benefits are you need little to no money. So if you have an income problem right now, you're not making that much money, you can't really put $10,000, $15,000, $20,000, $40,000 on an investment, and your credit is shot, you ain't got credit, you don't know much about credit. So all of the things, when you think about real estate, your mind instantly pushes you away. I don't got the credit, I ain't got no money for no real estate. Wholesaling real estate is your bridge to get you in the game. This is where I started. Little risk, because you're not buying the real estate. You're making money on something with no risk. So you're able to go out there and find it, which we teach you, the skills. It takes skills to do wholesaling real estate. You got to be able to brand yourself, find the deals. Then I got to have a conversation with you as the owner. I got to understand your problems. I got to understand your needs. I got to sell you on me. And I got to create that win-win situation. And I got to get the property for a discount. By a show of hands, who in here right now would sell their home for 50 cents on what it's potentially worth? 50% of what it's potentially worth. You would sell your home right now if you had a house that could be worth $400,000. You would sell it for $200,000. 50% more. Yeah. So would you sell your house for a 50% discount? No. Right. Exactly. So think about that when you're out here working with these sellers, right? So it takes a skill to go out there, meet them, understand their problem, solve it, put the property under contract, right? So you're here in the middle, right? You got a property over here. So you go out here, you find this person, you build with them, you put their property under contract, right? So the goal in real estate wholesaling is getting the contracts on the houses. Once you have the contract, you have the control. Nobody can go around you, through you. They have to work with you to get that deal. Yes, sir.
With that contract, do you gotta pay for that contract?
No. You don't gotta pay for the contract. You will have it through mentorship or, through hiring a lawyer to draw you out one. But being with us in Cash Buyers Academy, you get all the resources you'll need. And we're gonna talk about all that stuff later on. All right? So you go out there, you put the property under contract. So now you have my first deal, I had a property under contract for $65,000, right? What was cool was the house was worth a lot more than $65,000, so that's why it's valuable. I have a valuable piece of paper. In wholesale, we're not selling real estate, we're selling papers. So if I got this great property under contract for $65,000, and let's just say, for example, it's worth $120,000, right? I got gold. I have an asset. I have control of an asset and the option to buy this asset for 50 cents on what it's worth. That's valuable, right? So what happens as a wholesaler, our mindset is, I know I ain't got the money, I know I ain't really got the credit, but I got the strategy on how I can still make money on this deal, right? And that's typically by finding cash buyers and buyers. So you find cash buyers in your market. There's people in your market right now that are buying real estate every single month. There's millions of dollars changing hands for assets in real estate every single month. Whether you get it or not, it's happening. So my question to you guys, and the question you should be asking yourself is, how can I get in between that money, right? How can I get in between it so that they got to pass some of that to me? Get a couple of them dollars. Let me get a couple of that couple million that's being spent. I'll even take 1% of it. That's the mindset as a real estate wholesaler. We're thinkers. We're finessers. We hustlers. We problem solvers. We professional. Our brand is strong. Right? So we got this property under contract, and these guys right here are scrambling around with their heads cut off looking for more deals. So if I walk in a room full of investors that got money burning through their pockets, that literally when I heard investors say, I need to spend $200,000-$300,000 this year. What? You need to spend you need to spend money? I gotta find these deals. I gotta find him these deals about paying you. Just bring me the deal. Bring me a good deal. So I had this property. I was able to market it out there to cash buyers. Cash buyer came through. I had it at $65,000, right? Cash buyer came through and bought it off of me for $77,500. Had it under contract for $65,000. A cash buyer came and bought the contract off of me for $12,500, right? So I have my A to B, which is a purchase agreement. In a purchase agreement, it typically just says who, what, when, where, why, and how. Who's the buyer? Who's the seller? When is the closing? What's the price? Is there any deposits? What are the terms of this contract? Right? For wholesalers, we like to put an inspection contingency to protect ourselves. Gives us time to find a buyer. If we're not able to find a buyer, we can legally exit the deal. Low risk. That is the whole concept right now. Certainly being new and not being educated in this field of work. Making money with little risk. Both of them contracts will go to a title company or a closing attorney. Here in Atlanta is an attorney state. You go to a closing attorney, you give them the documents, you give them both these contracts. Say, hey, listen, I want you to pull title. This is a wholesale deal that I'm doing. And they get to work. Do you understand the value that you hold as this middleman? My first deal, I'm going to show you something, how powerful this is. My first deal as a high school dropout, I actually, to a certain extent, employed a bunch of people. Let me show you how. One, I helped this seller put $65,000 in their pockets. Two, I helped this cash buyer get another investment to keep building on his legacy. Three, that cash buyer had to, actually, even before I go to that, the title attorney. So these same guys that we get scared of, oh, attorney, want to talk to me, oh, they got an attorney, what do I do? Well, you treat them like anybody else, because that's really all they are. Like, yo, I'm the reason why y'all all getting paid here. So this deal is going to happen my way, right? My terms, my way. So not only does he get paid, then after the property is actually purchased, right? I know my drawings ain't the best, but then he has to hire contractors, right, to fix up the house. They getting paid. Then what happens is, then he has insurance on the property. They get paid, right? Then you got real estate commissions, right? They get paid. You got inspectors that come out. So many people are getting paid when a transaction goes off. So understand the power of what you are doing. You are stimulating the economy while stimulating your own bank account and growing it and building it with little to no risk. I don't care if your credit score was a 510, you could do this. I don't care if you didn't even have no money, you can do this. Now, I will disclose, to be a great wholesaler, you're not investing into the real estate. The only investment is going to go into you personally and your business. For your marketing, for your professionalism, for your sales, for your mentorship, to learn the game in and out. But you're not putting no money into the real estate. The coolest thing is I had a $0 deposit. I didn't put no deposit down on the property neither. And even if I had to, I have money now. I'm still only putting $100 down. Literally. So all the theories and things that you guys thought about real estate, the reasons why you can't get into it, what you need to wait for to get into it, is all killed. You literally can start today. You can get out there, go drive your areas, look for abandoned properties, look for homes that just look like they need a new owner. We go find them owners. We go talk to them owners. We go negotiate with them if there's a problem to be solved. We're problem solvers, right? We're not real estate agents. We don't sell houses for people. We create opportunities by going through this process. How many people want to go out there and do their first deal? Go make some money in real estate. What do you think that would do for you if you was able to go out there and do your first deal in 90 days? Somebody give me, what would that do for you? Make you some money. Anybody else? Go get some more. Passionate, motivated, hungry, inspired that this crap really works. Invest into your business now. Now you in the game. Let me start investing into my business. Let me start building this baby up, right? Your business is like a baby. Literally, I'm always nurturing my business. What else can I invest into it? How can I make the processes easier? How can I make sure my company is make sure my company is being represented properly? When owners, when people look at my company, what value does it speak to? That's the fun part. Forget waking up and going to some job and doing all that for somebody else's business. You got my talents and my thoughts. I'm trying to help you out. Right? Build it up. I said to myself, even if I don't get to live the ideal life that I want here on earth, if I can create and build businesses and leave the assets behind, that will be the win for me. Because it will allow the next generation to live the life. If I gotta be the sacrifice, if I gotta be the on top of the fireplace in that portrait hundreds of years from now, in that big mansion that you left for your family, the Grace Estate, right? That's how you become that person that every time your nephews and all the kids come, who is that up there? Who is that? I come here every year. I'm finally 7 years old. I can talk it now. I remember that picture. And every heir will get the lesson on who you were. Who don't want that? right? Starting here. This is a way y'all can get in real estate. Wholesaling real estate right there. No credit. You could be jacked up right now. You can go out there and make money and build your credit in that process. Right? So that's one great one right there. I'm going to just flip this page. My next one, which is very important, is home ownership. Okay, I know you just came in, Mike, so I wanted to make sure I said into your perfect day. For me personally, I'm not a homeowner yet. Never had owned my first home. I own investment properties, but that is my goal. So yo, why I'm gonna keep paying rent? Keep throwing my money out, then it can't come back. It's not building no appreciation on, it's not paying down nothing. When you own a house, every payment you make is bringing down the mortgage, which creates what? Equity. Creates equity. Equity, for you guys that don't know, equity is the difference between what you owe on a property versus what it's worth. You owe 50 grand, the house is worth 100,000. How much equity you got? $50,000 in equity. You can do things with that equity. You can tap into it to pull out portions of it to make other investments. You can go on vacation, buy a car, right? Those are not the things we want to do, but at some point we're going to need to go on vacation. We're going to need a car. So these investments, these properties literally can almost act as banks if we buy them right and we have equity in them. They can act as your own personal banks. You know what? I want to make this move. I'm gonna go over here, go to Milwaukee to my properties out there. Let me pull out some cash on one. Go buy, because I got this other investment opportunity. Or you know what? My daughter want to do private singing, right? And it costs $10,000 to work with Beyonce team. Whatever it is, you'll have the ability to tap into your equity. If you buy the properties right and you buy income producing assets, the asset will take care of its own debt. And you can pull out everything else and buy more investments. Take some things off your bucket list that you want to accomplish. Put your kids in position, put your nieces, your nephews, whatever. So home ownership. Everybody has to live somewhere. We have to raise our level of expectations. In my family personally, my mother was the first one to actually own a house in my family. She moved down here to Riverdale, Georgia. She rented for about 3 or 4 years, and she bought her first house out the auction in 2008. Bought a house for $50,000. I think she owes probably about 20 grand on it. The house is worth in that area $150. She's not even an investor. She don't know. She just realized being from Jersey and coming to Georgia, $50,000 for a house. She didn't even know what she was buying, but luckily lucked up and bought some at the right price. Appreciation went up over time. And literally, I'm talking with my mom how we can tap into the equity. Being the leader of my last name. How can we tap into that investment that you made? So, what we can do to be strategic is what we recommend is leveraging an income producing asset. Buying your first property, right? So we are able to get an FHA loan, which is a first-time home buyer's loan, which gives us, it's pretty much a government-backed loan that has super great benefits for first-time home buyers, right? So they want to make home ownership easy for the average person, right? So you get a low interest rate, about 3.5% interest rate. So super low interest rates. So for every $100,000, you bring $3,500 to the table, right? Low credit scores. Credit scores starting at 580. That's a bad credit score. But you can still get a house, right? So that's everyone's problems right there. Credit and money. So the first time home buyers program puts you in position where you can overcome that there, right? And wholesaling real estate is going to give you the down payment money, and it really will give you the money to build your credit if you're smart. I had one of my students ask me yesterday, he's been, closing some deals now, made over, 30 grand in his business. He said, when do I start paying myself? I said, no time soon. How's your credit? How's your business? Is it even a business yet? You're doing deals, but do you have a real business? No, reinvest it. Go develop yourself. Go get some sales mentorship. Don't worry about paying yourself right now. So that money, go buy your first house. These are the things that is going to open up. It's going to give you the cash flow, the skills to create money and begin to understand the business, right? So we talk about purchasing a 4-unit up to a 4-unit. So residential real estate is anything that's 4 units and under. You could even have 4 units even with the storefront. And it would still be considered, right? So if you ever see them buildings where you got a store at the bottom and there's like 2 or 3 units up top, you guys can own that as a first-time home buyer. And then you can say, you know what? I'm gonna start my first business outside of real estate and put my business in my, So we can literally, you got a question?
Yes, is it 4 units and then the commercial additionally?
Yeah, so it can go up to, so residential real estate is anything that's 4 units and under, and it can be 4 units even attached. So, So it can be, for example, it can be, let's say 3 residential units, and the 4th one can be a storefront. It can be mixed use residential as well, because typically once commercial comes in, it's commercial. It's commercial real estate, right? So you can have a mixed use multi-family up to 4 units, and it can even be combined with a storefront. So for example, I bought a property in Milwaukee earlier this year. My partner as well, Alana in the back. We bought a property in Milwaukee, 2 storefronts and a residential unit at top. It's still residential, and what we even did was we'll put our tax business in there as well. So not only do we own the building, we run business out of the building, and we get income from tenants, right? So there are ways that we can literally level up. Yes, sir.
Okay, when you get that loan, but the key, you got to get that property for like low so it can make a profit off of it, right?
Yep.
Because you get it too high, you'll lose on the loan.
Absolutely. We teach you all that. Yep, we teach you all that stuff right there. So let's get back to this property. Let's say that this asset here is $200,000 is what the seller wants for this property. You find the property, $200,000, you vet through it, you evaluate it. The great thing is it's a first-time home buyer, so you don't have the investor approach with this. But the fact that you understand the numbers, you still want to get a discount. You don't want to lose a great investment because you offering too low. Like with most investors, we're going to hear no more than yes because the prices that we need are going to be real low to make money on the deals. So you can still give the seller, create a win-win in this situation by paying them more than what you would typically pay if you were wholesaling it. So this property here, $200,000, is our purchase price. Our down payment, what would be our down payment on this at a 3.5% interest rate? $7,000. Everybody understand why the down payment will be $7,000? Okay, got it. We will take 3.5% of $200,000. So our down payment will be $7,000. How much did I make on my first deal? $12,500. So I would have had enough money to even buy this asset. Leveraging debt. That's what the wealthy people do. $7,000 allows me to own $200,000 worth of real estate. That's how people build wealth, right? Now, with that being said, let's just say that this unit gives us $500. This unit gives us $500. This one gives us $500, and we live in this unit right here, right? Because you have to live in the property to get the loan. So $7,000 our down payment. So we have a mortgage on the property for $193,000, right? So let's just say for quick terms that our monthly mortgage payment on this property, just throwing out numbers, is, let's just say it is $1,000, right? A month for mortgage. It's how much I have to pay. It's called debt service. That's my debt service, is $1,000 a month on this property. If the property is bringing in how much money? It's giving me $1,500 per month, right? So I owe $1,000 per month, but I get $1,500 in cash flow is what it's called. Cash flow, right? So if I flip them and subtract them, how much would I make each month as a profit? I would profit $500 monthly, right? Whoever thought my first house, or whoever thought owning real estate, we would actually get paid for our actual home, right? Whoever thought that? We was always worried about, well, I don't want to be responsible for no heaters and paying a mortgage that if I don't pay it, I can get foreclosed on. Go back to that subconscious mind. It start kicking in and destroying all our dreams.
And that 1,000 is knocking down to 193.
Yep. So what happens is this will be a combination of interest. Most of the time it's interest early on. So that 3.5, the low down payment is your down payment, but then your loan has terms to it. So you might be paying 5% interest on your $193,000. So the way that the amortization schedule goes, some of it is interest, some goes to principal. Most of it will go to interest early on in your first 10 years, 15 years of your mortgage, and then it'll start to pay down that principal more. The principal is actually the loan that you're getting. The interest is what they're charging you for giving you the money, right? So the faster you pay it down, if you took the first 5 years and took the extra $500 to pay it down more, you start to save money for that interest. So again, that $500, yeah, I could go out every weekend, or I got $500 to go do what I want to do, or you could make that legacy move and say, I'm gonna pay this asset down a little faster than anticipated. Why? Because I want the equity, so I can make some more plays with this investment, because I only really put $7,000 to own it. So 15 years from now, this asset has a lot of equity. The rents don't went up. The mortgage ain't changed. The rents don't went up over time. The asset now that you bought for $200 is probably worth $280. You got a mortgage on it now. 20 years from now, maybe that mortgage is $120. You know, $80,000, and you got that in between that you can make magic on. Literally. So you cash flow $500 monthly is your cash flow. So not only do you live for free, you actually make an extra $500 per month on this property. The tenants are paying down your mortgage. The tenants are actually building wealth for your what? Legacy, last name. So think about it. Every time you pay that rent, I want you guys to think about this now. Damn, I just helped John and his family. Damn. John, the kids, they come over and pick up this rent. Everybody happy. I ain't happy. Right? We have to change the way that we think. Literally. Change the way that we think, see things different, and we'll get different results.
Okay, say once you got that property, how do you build that into the business, to like then get a team?
Great question. Great question. So right now, so that will really just be going through the process of being a real estate entrepreneur, which we're going to get into next. So pretty much that's just, like you said, building a team. I got to know who I need to build with, who are the people I need around me. So who do I need to make this deal happen? I need a real estate agent to assist me in market analysis, getting some comps. I'm going to need an attorney or a title company to actually close on this property. I'm going to need an inspector to inspect this building before I even buy it. I'm going to need an appraiser because the bank is going to require that. I'm going to need an actual mortgage rep, a lender, a bank rep to even work with me on this loan. So that's going to be your team. You just got to go out there and find the rock stars of it. So again, all that stuff you're taught in Cash Buyers Academy, really how to build it up from the ground up to have a real sustainable business to leverage when you go buy your first house. Most of our parents bought houses when they knew nothing about real estate. Imagine buying your first house when you know everything about it. So you know how to find the right type of seller. You know how to negotiate. You know that if I can get this property 80 cents on a dollar, I already got 20% of equity on it. Matter of fact, you know what? I found a really motivated lady, actually got it 50 cents on the dollar, and I was able to do a full renovation on it and make it the way I want it. Right? So you got options on how you want to do it, which is beautiful. So with this same property, not only do you, let's break down the highlights, $7,000 to own a $200,000 asset, $500 in profit, $1,500 in monthly cash flow coming through, $1,000 mortgage, so you profit $500, you live for free, your taxes are paid in the mortgage, so you're living for free while your tenants pay down your asset. Yes, sir.
Besides the $7,000 down deposit, what other fees would you come across in that deal?
Great question. So the only other fees that really will come as any maintenance or repairs, and ideally you will want to negotiate that on the front end. So if I know that the house needs work, when my inspection or my inspector comes through, I'm doing two things, either negotiating that price so that when I buy it, I can do the renovations and I'm not overpaying. Like I think King said right here, you don't want to overpay for an asset, so you do your due diligence. That makes sure that when you buy it, it's at a good enough price to make repairs, make it nice so that the value goes up and you haven't overpaid for the asset. So the other expenses that will come in will be like maintenance on it, because the insurance and the taxes, a lot of times that's going to be all bundled into that mortgage. Just depending on the type of loan, but 9 times out of 10, they're going to put it all in that mortgage. So those expenses are covered monthly. Any questions over here? You guys are good? All right, so does that make sense to you guys? That makes sense, the power of real estate. Home ownership, you can look at it in an entirely different way. And even if you're somebody who says, you know what, I don't want a bunch of people living around me or that close to me, I just want a single family, it's still the same concept. You might not get the cash flow, but you're able to own an investment for little down. If you're wholesaling, you can create the money to make the payments. So both options you can go. This is a better option for us because we already in last place. This is our first time owning, right? So we want that leverage. Sometimes you gotta sacrifice, because you can move up out of here 2-3 years later, you done wholesale, you done got your business going, you done started something, you up now. I'm out of there, now I'm getting $2,000 a month, now I'm cash flowing $1,000 a month, and that property is still going up in value. Now I went and got my dream home, because I sacrificed first. I didn't go out there and try to go get the fancy house that I really can't afford. Now I'm struggling and I'm in this house, stressed out in the house all day because I'm struggling to pay it. Same thing we do with cars. We go out there, get our dream car. We like, I've done it off this lot. I'm trying to pull up on my friends. That lifestyle, I need that moment right now. Scratch up in that mindset. This one is real estate entrepreneurship. I spelled that right. I write entrepreneurship so much. I think that's right. It might be an E-U-U-E, I don't know.
We got you though.
Yeah, y'all got me. All right, real estate entrepreneurship, right? So real estate entrepreneurship is going to be a combination of fix and flip, so like the TV shows, buy and hold, so rental properties, commercial investing, syndicating, deal syndications, creative financing, which I love this. You can buy your first home creatively, literally. You could buy your first home from a seller with no money down, $2,000 down, $3,000 down, taking over mortgages, right? There's so many cool ways that you can get into real estate, owning, flipping, whatever it is. Right, so we got fixing and flipping, rentals, commercial investing, syndications, creative financing, creative funding. So funding, right, like pulling your money together. This is all real estate entrepreneurship. So with that being said, this is the end goal right here. This is where we want to get. We want to be able to have options, right? Options in this game. Everybody is going to find a lane or something that works best for them. But this is the ultimate goal. This is how we build wealth. We can go out here fixing and flipping. Let's talk about what that looks like. So a lot of people want to fix and flip, right? Because it's fun. You see it on a TV show. You see an ugly house, and it's able to get turned around and be a beautiful house, and you make quick profits, right? So let's go through a deal scenario. Let's calculate ROI. Does anyone know what ROI is? Return on investment. Does anybody know the formula to determine ROI?
So it's basically what you're putting in, what you're purchasing for, and what you're putting in, basically the profit that
I can't hear you all the way.
the return on your investment is what you're getting out of your investment, what you're putting in, and then what you're purchasing it for, and what you're putting into rehab it, and then the profit that you're making once you flip it.
Yup, exactly. So you got it right, but you don't have the formula right.
Okay.
I don't want y'all to. Mike, I'll give you a shot.
Okay. What you're grossing over the investment. How much the investment?
What's the formula, Mike? You was in class.
Yeah.
Give me the formula.
Net income divided by investment times 1,000.
Net profit divided by all-in investment times 100. So your net profit divided by your all-in investment times 100 will give you your return on investment in a percentage form. So ask yourself right now, how many of us got a nice amount of money in the bank? I ain't even gonna throw out numbers because I don't want people in y'all business, but who has a nice amount of couple dollars in the bank? Something that they could be proud of, right? All right. Ask yourself this question. What is my money currently doing for me sitting in that bank? Not nothing. 0.01% is the return on your money. One thing that has missed our culture is that we damn sure good at making money. Always, from hustling the streets to robbing people to scamming to rapping to ball playing. We got doctors, lawyers, we got all of it. But one thing that we have failed is growing our wealth. We just know how to make money and spend it. We don't have a plan to actually to grow it. And that's something I've been super passionate about early on as an entrepreneur, finally making some real money. I'm always telling myself, grow my wealth, grow your wealth first. Don't spend it right now. Keep investing it. One day, you're gonna be like, damn, I'm making so much, I gotta spend something. Like, I might go shopping today. When you wake up and feel like that, that's when it's time to go shopping. Like, damn, we done made $40,000 this month. And we've been making it for the last 6 months. It's Friday, bank account just hit. You know what? We done made a lot of sacrifices the last 2 years. Let's go have some fun, right? That's the goal right there. So ROI, net profit divided by all-in cost times 100. Our money in the banks ain't doing nothing for us. So it's not best used to be there. This is how you grow wealth. How many of us own some stocks? Or got an IRA, got a 401k. How much you making back on your money off that? Y'all losing? Oh man, y'all losing now. But typically with stocks, you may make anywhere from 6 to 12% range, I would say, right? Which is good, right? It's better than that bank. But think about it. What else best use of my money? How can I grow it faster? What are other things I can do to grow it, right? So, real estate. Typical. What can I make? How much of my money can I invest and profit off of? So typically in a real estate fix and flip deal, investors are looking for minimum 20%. They really want about 30. So for every $100,000 I spend, I get back 30 grand on that. That's how we grow our wealth. Right? I'm not in the game for 6%, 12%. I'll take it, but I'm not in the game for that. My family's in last place. We in last place. I can't afford only 6%. I gotta figure out where else can I park this money. Right? So typically in a fix and flip, you're looking at 20 to 30%. People make more than that. People may make less than that at times. But anything under that, you're probably in a really, really hot market. And the properties sell easy, but you're not going to get big discounts because, the bidding wars, people are willing to pay more. So, but 20 to 30 is going to be about industry standards for fix and flip. So let's just say for this property, we purchased it for $100,000 was the purchase price. Our rehab on it was $50,000, meaning that we renovated it. We did new kitchens, floors, bathrooms, electric, plumbing. We spent $50,000 on this property. And let's just say that this house resells for $200,000, right? For quick numbers, we see a $50,000 profit, right? Quick numbers, right? So let's just say out of this $50,000 we got closing costs on the first purchase, so I'm gonna say $2K for closing costs. Let's just say our holding costs, because maybe we borrowed money, we had to pay a mortgage on the money we were borrowing. I'm not gonna go deep into that today because I don't want to confuse you. But let's say you had holding costs, right? So we had another $3,000 in holding costs, right? I'm following? $3,000 in holding costs, right? So we had $5K in extra costs. And then let's just say our real estate commissions. What is 5% on 200,000? Real quick, 6,000? 10,000? 5% of 200,000. 10. Okay, 10? 10. All right, 10,000, right? So we got 10,000 in closing costs. Real estate commissions. Right? So we got a total of $15K in additional expenses for this $20,000 profit. This would be considered a gross profit. So what does gross mean? Before taxes. What does net mean? After taxes. Our formula is net profit, so we got to find it after taxes and expenses. So 15K was like be our gross. We got another 15,000 in closing costs, holding costs, and real estate commissions. Leaves us left with 35K net profit, right? So now, let's just say that on this property, we actually leveraged some debt, right? We actually leveraged some debt on this property, meaning that we used a hard money lender, we used the bank to give us the money, and we just put a portion down to get into this loan. So let's just say that we only had to bring to the table, out of this 150,000 total, let's just say we had to bring 25% of that. Somebody tell me what's 25% of 150. Just take 150 times it by 0.25. 37.5. Can anybody? 37.5. You smart. Okay. If Jay was here, he'll be proud of you. So 37.5. So the lender say, you know what? You bring $37,500 to the table. Out of the 150, we give you the rest of the loan for the 120, right? That would be the 120 number. So with that being said, what's our formula? What would be our net profit in this example? 35,000, right? Is our net profit. What is our all-in cost? Yep, 37.5. So the reason why my all-in investment is 37.5 and not 150 because I didn't put in the rest of the money. We're talking about cash on cash, what we invested, right? Anytime you're doing real estate, when you get to the high-level real estate, everything is what did I put in it versus what am I bringing back on it. So in this scenario, I would take 35,000. Divide it by 37.5 and times it by 100. What is that percentage? It's going to be around like 95, 93, right? 93% ROI. Right? What your money doing in the bank?
Whoa. Nothing.
I knew something was falling. It's that leg there. I knew I wasn't tripping. That's what it's doing, nothing. Falling. That money. So it's like, why am I gonna hold my money with you? You ain't doing nothing for me, and you making money off my money. You giving me pennies. Gotta change the mindset. It ain't doing no good in the shoebox neither. Just stacking it, investing it, right? So this is a great scenario right here. The 93%. Yep.
The 15K up there. Was
Fi-
that what you initially paid? Isn't that
Nope.
what you paid?
So the purchase price of the property was $100,000. The rehab cost was $50,000. It can sell for $200,000. Follow? Here, I had $2K for closing costs because I started throwing in extra expenses that happens. I had $3K for holding costs, right? So maybe you got the interest you're paying on the mortgage from borrowing this money. And then I had $10K for real estate commissions.
So this is on top of the 150 that you owe you. Okay.
Yep.
And then that's 165. I got you.
Yep. So with that being said, first I did it a little different. I just I added 150. I sold it for $200. It was $50,000 in gross profit. I added that in it of $15,000 additional expenses and commission, brought us down to now a $35,000 net profit. Follow? Then what I said was, let's say that we actually got a loan on this property, so we borrowed money. 25% of what I would need, $100,000 and $50,000 to renovate it.
Why are you paying 25%? Because it's investor or something? Why are you paying 25%?
Because that's just what the bank, I'll negotiate with the bank. So typically if you're doing a conventional loan,
But you just sold us 3.5%.
first time home buyer.
Okay.
We're doing now conventional private financing.
Oh, okay.
It's more aggressive because it's not as incentivized for you to,
So, the product, they want you to pay 25%. That was what you just said.
right. It's gonna be more skin in the game. They,
5% of that net.
of what you're asking for, 150 grand.
Okay.
Make sense?
And that's how you got the 35%.
37.5 is my all-in investment. If I say, you know what, forget if it was a loan and it was just the entire it really would be 165. Let's just say it was the 165. The purchase, the rehab, and the closing costs and commissions and holding costs, 165. Do that math. 35,000 net profit divided by your all-in cost. Say you paid cash for it. 165 was everything you had to pay to make this deal happen. What would be your return on investment?
21%.
No, I need a real number. This is real estate. 20%, can anybody back him? 20%? Okay. So it would be a 20% cash on cash, which is still good. You invest 165,000, I get back 35. It's not bad. If I could do like 5 of them a year, 1 a quarter, that's an extra 120, 130 extra. You can do that working a job still, putting teams in place so that you can get your time back. So even off of 20%, and you bring that debt, this is why they always say other people's money. I could put less down to own more, and even if I'm flipping, I put less down to pretty much make a higher cash on cash. Why would I put my whole 165 up if I can go to somebody and, one other piece if I'm borrowing money that I missed in this, actually, I think I kind of threw it in here, was the holding costs, like the interest payments, which I threw that in there, so disregard that. So same thing. Why would I put 165,000 up if I could just put 37.5, which is going to bring me the same profit? Profit ain't changing really too much. So that makes sense? All right. Let's do another quick example on a rental. Let's do the same exact example, similar example. Now with a rental property, we're going to determine rental cash flow, and we're also going to try to determine what's the equity in the property, right? So we're going to determine what percentage of our money are we making back per year, and what is our equity in the purchase of this property, right? So let's just say, for example, let's just say that the purchase price is $100,000. We leverage a conventional mortgage. So we're going to leverage debt on this, right? So we use a conventional mortgage. So we're going to have a $20K. I'm going to put purchase. I'm going to write it out for you guys. Purchase price. I got a $20K down payment on this property, which means I'm left with $80,000. So let's just say my mortgage payment per month, I'm just throwing out numbers, is $700 a month for my debts. Right? And let's just say that we determine that this property is worth $150K is the appraised value, right? Appraised value. So, with that being said, let's determine what would be our cash on cash or our rental ROI on this property. So what we would do is we would take the rents, right, of $700 per month. $1,500 per month in a year, right? We got 12 months. They got to pay their rent once a month. 1,500 times 12. I think that might be 18,600 or is it 18,000? 18,000. So 18,000 would be I'm not going to use for this example, but you always want to think about like vacancies, right? Sometimes you're not going to have people in your units. So this is best case scenario, but as an investor and when you're dealing with multi-families, we kind of want to account for that. In no world would every unit be rented out. And on top of that, in no world will you always get paid rent. Of course we want that, but you will go through that. So in your deal evaluation, you should account for that, right? So standard industries is probably 10% for vacancies what investors will put, but in your market, there's going to be a certain number, and that's how you do your due diligence and you network. So for this example, we're going to say best case scenario to keep it simple for everybody, $18,000 would be the gross rental income. The debt each month is $700. That covers insurance, taxes, all that is combined in it. What is 700 times 12? 8,400. So we have $8,400 in expenses, right? So income, expenses gives us our NOI. What does NOI mean?
Return on investment. Oh, I'm sorry.
NOI.
Net operating.
Net operating income. That will be $9,600. $9,600 would be my net operating income, right? So $9,600 would be my net operating income for this property after all expenses. So now to determine my rental ROI, what's my formula again?
Net profit all in divided by all in cost times 100.
Net profit divided by all in costs times 100. So what's my net profit on this one? My rental net profit.
That's going to be the 9,600.
Anybody else can agree to that? 9,600. Yup. So 9,600 divided by my all-in costs. 84 from all-in costs? Nope.
Are we talking about a full mortgage of 100,000?
Nope. 20,000. All I put down was 20,000 on the property. I'm leveraging debt. This is what wealthy people do. Leverage debt to create a cash flow, which also gives you tax advantages, which we'll get into in the future. Cash Buyers Academy, which was amazing for me this year, just from cost segregation studies. And leveraging the power of real estate, I was able to save $50,000 in tax liabilities I own because I own real estate assets. I didn't know that until this year. I hired a tax strategist. I had a tax bill due $50,000, $60,000 in taxes this year. I had a $50,000, $60,000 tax bill. $50,000 to $60,000 was going to be my obligation to pay the IRS. Uncle Sam.
And what's the cost segregation that you're talking about?
So cost segregation is a study that they do. It's a depreciation method. They depreciate the assets over a period of time. It can be a 5, 7, 11, 13, something like that. But what it does, again, the professionals, the tax strategist does the formula, the study, and it will give you an estimated, will give you the exact amount of what you can depreciate off of your taxes. So I had to have tax planning, which you guys will get to when y'all boss up in this, so that I can keep my wealth. That's the game. Our problem is we can make the money. That's not a problem for us. We don't have to grow our wealth or keep it. How many times have I heard rappers say, paid $1 million, paid a couple million taxes? Who the heck is proud of that? You should not be happy about that. You want to pay him $0 every year. Or very low. We all mad at Donald Trump for paying $750 in taxes. I don't know what he's got going on, but the fact, right, the formula. We looked at, what was that? Right.
I was just gonna say that, and I saw somebody else read the article and said he paid thousands plus an additional $750. So I'm saying I think we got it wrong.
Right. Even if it's a couple thousand, he makes millions of dollars. He's still not going to be paying his obligation if he didn't have tax planning in place. So, right. So the whole point behind it is that real estate is an avenue that will help you literally in America get rewarded when you buy real estate. Literally. Learn the game of the wolves and beat them at it.
Can you say that name again, the tax strategist, what did you call it?
A cost segregation study. It's a depreciation method.
Is that when they go and they count the doors and they depreciate the doors and doors?
Everything that you can take off with a hammer, yup. So the real estate asset, anything in there that you can actually take off, not the structure, the improvements, they write it off on a cost segregation study. So they do this study I know nothing about. I just pay them the money, and they come back and say, well, Isaac, based off this investment, you can do an additional $20,000 you can write off, a depreciation $14,000. So what happened was I had a high tax bill, and I had some assets that I had never depreciated, and I was able to utilize that and some other strategies to have a low tax bill. That is the goal. The goal is to keep your wealth. You don't want to pass it out. You don't want to spend it. So that same $50,000 or $60,000 that I would have traditionally just paid and been bragging to y'all about, yo, I spent $50,000 in taxes. What was your tax bill? I was only $11,000. You ain't make more than me. No. I'm now able to keep the $40,000, $50,000 and reinvest it. Reinvest that. I did 3 cost segregation studies, so I paid $2,500 each. So I paid $7,500 plus my $3,000 to invest in him. So $10,000 to save $50,000 in taxes a year. Mindset, family. Mindset. My 2 partners didn't even want to invest in the guy because I guess the cost. I said, you know what? I brought him to the table. Let me go invest in him and see if it works. Now they're like, yo, can he do? Let's do this property because I want to save taxes, right? It's the mindset.
So with something like that, you got to do it for
Each property, yeah. So it's a tax plan, right? So you can have a bunch of properties. You don't have to do it to all your properties. It's a plan that they start giving a tax plan. You can do like a solo 401k. I'm giving you guys extra game right now. This is all extra. So just So you put another $18,000 into your 401k, the company matches it, $39,000 tax write-offs. Game. I learned this year. I'm still amazed. I said, oh shoot. Now I see how people get wealthy. I understand wealth now. I understand wealth. Leverage debt to create cash flows. Leverage the real estate assets to save in taxes. Leverage the tax savings to reinvest in real estate, to borrow more money. That's what the wealthy people do. Then we'll get to starting other businesses and other business ventures to grow your investment portfolios. But getting back over here, our all-in cost, $20,000. What is my rental ROI? 9,600 divided by 20,000 times 100. 48%. So 48% cash on cash. You put 20 grand down, you bring back 9,600 a year. That's not bad. That's not bad at all.
About 3-4 years, it'll be free money then.
It's all profit after that. Who wouldn't mind making an investment like this and locking in for 4 years, 3 or 4 years, like he said, 5 years, and buying up these investments, learning wholesaling, even if it's not wholesaling for you, even if it's a tax company or whatever you do. Literally, this is the game. Then you get rewarded. I didn't talk about the tax strategy. I just talked to y'all, but that comes into play with these same assets. So even though you got a mortgage on it, you still get the full tax benefit as if you owned it all outright. So even though I only put $20,000 down for this $100,000 asset, if I do a depreciation method on it, it's not like, oh no, he only put 20% of it in, so whatever the depreciation is, he gets 20% of it. No, I get the whole thing. Then the great thing is, let's just say that you depreciate assets, you save $60,000 in taxes, right? And you say, you know what, I want to buy a house this year. Should I even lower this? Should I actually lower my tax liability? The beautiful thing about this is you can still do that because you still get the benefits and the credit of all the money that you made. So it's not like when you do the depreciation, it lowers your income. The bank is still looking at what you made that would have had you paying $50,000, $60,000 in taxes. So you get so many benefits of this. Morgan, what time is it? 4:11. All right, we're gonna get finishing up real soon. All right, so 48% cash on cash, right? Give y'all one other quick example for a wholesale business. My first deal, I made $12,500 on the property, right? I invested totally for that deal. I started my Jay Morrison Academy. I was in it 6 months, so I probably spent about, let's say $600 for mentorship. I spent about another $1,000 to start my business, market it, things of that nature. And for my first marketing campaign, I spent about $500, right? So let's just say $2,100 was my all-in investment, right? I profited $12,500. What's my return on investment for that? $12,500 divided by $2,100. What is it? $12,500 divided by $2,100 was my all-in cost. Huh? What's times about 100? Nope. Nope.
Is it 2,100?
2,100. Did you times about 100? And what's the number? And what's the next number? On there. 5.95. So move it over 2 more spots. That point. And that's your return on investment. 595% return on investment. It can't be under 100 because I made more than I invested. So it's going to be over 100%. So I made 595% return on my investment, my first wholesale deal. Who ready to do that? All right, perfect. So how you guys feeling about today? Was that informative? What are you guys thinking? Do you guys truly feel like this is the information that's going to bridge this wealth gap for you? I need you guys to stand up. I know I had y'all sitting down. I need you guys to wake up a little bit. Yes. Restroom, Gene, bathroom for them? Where's the bathroom? Okay. All right, y'all feeling good? Y'all feeling fed? Feeling good, motivated? Who truly feels and truly believes that this information is needed in their household by a show of hands? Who's sitting here like, damn, I need this for my last name. I need this for myself so that I can do it for my last name. Who in this room for the first time is really being exposed to wealth or just the level of building wealth in real estate by show of hands? Got a couple. Everybody else knows the power of real estate, right? By show of hands, who is ready to go into 2020 and take that shot and bet on themselves? Who's going into 2020? I'm betting on myself. Everybody in here, give yourselves a round of applause. All right. You guys can sit down if you want. Just want y'all to get up real quick. Yep, get that blood flowing. All right, CBAmembership.com. So, what we are offering here at Cash Buyers Academy is an opportunity of a lifetime. An opportunity of a lifetime. So what I want to do real quick is Darielle and Jimmy, if you guys can come up here to the front real quick, please. Everybody give it up for Darielle and Jimmy. These are two of our Cash Buyer Academy students. Do we have any other students in here that's in Cash Buyers Academy? Nope, just these two, perfect. All right, so we got Jimmy, we got Darielle that are part of our Cash Buyers Academy. I promise y'all they are not paid for any of this. I'm going to pass them off the mic in a couple quick words, 1 or 2 minutes, both of you guys. Just talk about what your experience has been in Cash Buyers Academy.
How's everyone doing?
Hey, how you doing?
Long story short, I was in grad school during the time, and I just decided to take the class. Didn't know too much about wholesaling. I have some family that have land and things like that, but I didn't understand the nuances of real estate. And once I signed up, I studied Isaac Grace's videos, just looked at it, and as soon as I finished, something was like, because I'm more of an action-oriented type of person, and I just immediately just took action. I was like, okay, let me take everything that Isaac was saying and King Isaac was just talking about doing the videos, and I just went and applied it. Long story short, I didn't know too much about it. I just went to Office Depot, and he's going to tell you a little bit more about just the systems that we use. And I just went to work, and I was in the gym one time just doing my conditioning, and one of my, a caller called me while I was on the treadmill, finished up my conditioning, and within like a week after taking the class, I was able to get probably under contract. So like, I say all that to say that everything that King Isaac's talking about is valuable. Take advantage of it. We're already, like you said, we're already in last place. So why not just look at it and apply it, and I promise you'll get the results. So my queen here has so much testimony as well. I'm proud of you guys for taking this step right here. Let's continue to go and build together.
My name is Darielle Johnson. My experience in Cash Buyers Academy since August 2nd has been a miracle. I don't know if anybody believes in miracles, but every time I receive a blessing, to me it's miraculous. And from August 2nd, I got a community, and in community there's healing. I got knowledge, which got power, and I got my first deal done in 90 days, and all I did was follow the blueprint, literally verbatim, and invest in myself for the first time. That was my first huge investment into myself, into my time, and that's been my experience with CBA. And the way they pour into that program is unheard of. People not doing that. People not hopping on calls every night or 4 days a week just to pour into you and your dream and your legacy. So
Appreciate it. All right, thank you guys, thank you. So those are two of our current students and their experience in Cash Buyers Academy. Cash Buyers Academy launched August 1st. So we're a little over 90 days into this academy. We've helped hundreds of students become business owners. We've helped a handful of them go out there and do their first deals and get some of their time back. We have also brought healing, as Darielle spoke about. We spend a lot of our time on mindset. I'm always on calls just yapping my mouth about mindset, really pushing them to be built for this. The money will come. It's about your journey of you as a person. So, what we are offering with Cash Buyers Academy is we have a bundle package opportunity for you guys to come get involved in Cash Buyers Academy. We are offering a 40% off of our CBA membership. So right now it's for $418 one-time payment for the entire year. You get access to myself on multiple weekly video calls. We do 4 and 5 per week. You guys get access to deal evaluation, so we evaluate your deals. We put you on hot seat, so we break down your business, assess it, give you a game plan. You guys get a wholesaling toolbox that gives you the scripts, the contracts, over 60 documents that you will need in your business to help you. You get access to funding. So Tulsa Real Estate Fund, the owner of this building, has even taught guys how to assign the contracts if we double close. Please don't ask me right now what is double closing. Teach you in Cash Buyers Academy. But it's another strategy that gives you more leverage, confidence, posture, and power when you're out here as a real estate investor, where we give you the funds to buy it for $100,000 because we know you got a buyer who's about to buy it for $120,000. So we give you more power, posture, and positioning and confidence out there. We give you the proof of funds letters. So the same letters that literally a seller says, well, do you even got the funds that they have? They get you through that door. We do real estate mad class, them ROIs, we do them. We teach you guys everything. You guys get access to our wholesale mastery course. We teach you about marketing, sales, follow-ups, appointments, building your team, incorporating your business. Every single process, we break it down in 15 to 30-minute lessons, and then you get me 4 times a week to ask any questions that you have pertaining to your business. So much value, so much gain. We give you all the systems that we utilize, that you have to invest in your own money, but we give you access to the same resources that we use. So we give y'all all of our plugs. Everything we use, you guys get access to. So go out there, grow, and nurture your business. So one-time payment of $418 will get you in for 12 months of all this valuable gain. If you're not in position to do that, you still want to make an investment, we have CBA for $97 per month. There's no discount on it. There's also a year commitment. So if you invest $97 and you do monthly, you have to commit for a year. And we put that in place because it truly takes time to build. People want to quit after 60 days, 90 days, because it's not working, but you need time to grow. So if you're in, I'm letting you guys know right now, there's no cancellations. You're signing up for a year commitment, because we give you all the information immediately. So it wouldn't be fair if you went for 3 months, took all the documents, and then just turned your card off, right? So 12-month commitment, no cancellations for that right there. With both of them, the cool thing is that we have a Black Friday bundle that King Jay wanted me to personally deliver to you guys with this opportunity. If you guys don't know, King Jay and Queen Ernestine Morrison just welcomed in their bundle of joy yesterday. Baby Morrison, so let's give it up for them. So I started as a protege, became actually a student, became a mentee, a protege, and now a business partner. And I'm here on behalf of the Morrison family, standing up, holding it down, continue to pick up the torch, just like you guys are going to pick up that torch for your last name to get this legacy going. So Jay and Ernestine wanted me to personally thank you guys for coming out and supporting us. It is Saturday. You guys can be doing whatever you want, but y'all here trying to build. So we want to thank you guys for that. The bundle is going to come with, and it's for 48 hours, so Monday night going into Tuesday morning is when this ends. You're going to get access to 2 ebooks when you sign up. So you're going to get Lord of My Land, Jay Morrison's first book that he read. and the solution. So Lord of My Land teaches you home ownership, so much more in depth than what I just talked about. And the solution is a book on the solution that us here in America as black and brown individuals, what we need to do to get out of our own problems. A solution to us building wealth and putting on for our culture. So you'll get them 2 ebooks and you're gonna get the Real Estate Beginners Program. So King Jay started the RBCs, the Real Estate Business and Credit. So you guys are gonna get 5 lessons from the R, the real estate and the Real Estate Beginners Program. So you're gonna get Jay's perspectives on real estate and things that you will utilize out here on your journey. So that's what we're offering as our end of the year thank you, motivation, inspiration for you guys to get around a community that's like-minded. If today is something that you enjoyed or you feel inspired about, imagine having me multiple times per week. Jay comes on the calls. We have special guests that come on. We do more than just real estate. It's not just teaching real estate all day. We talk about life. We talk about our whys, personal development, so much great stuff. So by a show of hands right now, who is ready to really make an investment in themselves? By a show of hands, perfect. So we got a couple people in the room that's really, really ready to make an investment in themselves. For my people that didn't raise your hand, if you guys care to share, what is holding you back? Anybody? There you go. Good, good, good. Okay. And when did you sign up? Okay. And you're in Cash Buyers Academy? RBCs. Okay. Gotcha, gotcha. Anybody else care to share?
I just moved to Atlanta from Tennessee, so I get my stuff better first.
Okay, so you just need some time to get right. That's totally fine, respectable. Anybody else?
If I had that right now, I'd drop it right now.
Okay, gotcha. Makes sense. All right, so pretty much it's just a combination of us pulling the money together as well as just giving it time and circumstance. Okay? So what I would recommend for you, King, is just put a plan of action in place. You know, we're not going anywhere. We're here. This is what we do. For anyone that is actually ready to get going, when we break out and class is over, you guys are more than welcome to go to the back. Speak with Alana, which is my partner, my assistant. She can help you guys get set up, get joined in Cash Buyers Academy. You guys can be in class on Tuesday, and we'll be on a journey to building your legacy and your last name. So my last message that I want to add in there is I want to give a huge shout out to our team that we have here. We got King Eugene in the back right here. This is our video guy. He is the one that makes everything happen behind the scenes, all the audio, our live streamers. Make sure the mic is working, make sure we got a board. He is the guy behind the scenes of handling this. Then we have Queen Morgan. That is, everybody give her Queen Morgan. That is King Jay's assistant. So she's here in absence of King Jay and Queen Ernestine, making sure we're good, making sure you guys are good. We got my brother Clint right here on the camera, on the 1s and 2s. So Clint is our visionary. He gets our content, so all the great videos. That's a combination of Eugene and Clint. That's putting that together. Business partner. She's the co-owner of Easy Tax Services. So we also have a tax service that we have as well. She's a first-year entrepreneur, and she kind of stepped up and helps me in my business relationship with King Jay. She does a lot of behind-the-scenes things similar to what Morgan does. And I want you guys to acknowledge our team, because without team, it's hard to make visions become reality. I'll be wrong if I sat up here and said, I did all this myself. I had a great pep talk prior to coming here with King Jay to get his vision out on what the message was for you guys. I hope I got it out. I hope you guys liked it. I hope it made sense. And this is it, 2021. We're in a new decade. This is the time for all of us, but mainly my millennials. I'm the millennial hope dealer, so I really am inspired to help millennials. This is our decade to level up. Starts with education. Education is the foundation of it all. Education with the mindset is the foundation. So let's get out here. Let's make these investments. Let's change our circumstances. Let's change the people we got around us. Let's pay attention to what we're doing with our minutes, hours, and seconds of the day. Use your time here on earth to learn so that you can pass down. Because time is valuable. We're not getting no time back. We are not getting no time back. So with that being said, I want to thank you guys. Give it up for yourselves.